Okay, we should be streaming live. Here we go. All right, welcome everyone to Mindset Monday. I'm Christine Colzing, and I'm so excited to have with me today a very special guest. Daina Gardiner is a member of Align and Design Your Life, and she's made some big changes in her life recently. It was so exciting to see her come into our program and be able to really step into her highest self, into the abundant, confident entrepreneur that she is. And she's made some big leaps. I'm going to let her share her experience as we go. When I see women like Daina come into the program and have such huge mindset shifts to really uncover what's been holding them back and then choose to move forward, to tone down the resistance, as we say, turn down the volume on it, and just continue to keep going for what they want, creating a life they love, creating a business they love, being who they truly want to be. It's so inspiring to me. And I love sharing these stories with all of you so that you can see it's possible, right? It's possible for any of us. So Daina, I'd love for you to just introduce yourself, tell us who you are, what you do, and who you serve.
Hi, everyone. I am Daina Gardiner. I am a holistic nutritionist and based out of Calgary, Alberta. I have an online nutrition program for busy, ambitious women over the age of 35 who are struggling with chronic fatigue and burnout. And I help them rebalance their hormones naturally with nutrition and very specific lifestyle self-care strategies so that they can go from exhausted to energized. So
nice. And what got you into that, into being a health coach? What were you doing? Well, let's start there. And then, because I know your story, I want to work us back to what you were doing as you came into becoming a health coach. What was your journey there?
Before I was a health coach, I was in IT. I started off in IT networking and moved into IT security with a specialization in critical infrastructure. So I was highly sought after for a number of years. But I was struggling with my own health concerns. I had chronic fatigue syndrome. I couldn't figure out how to fix it. Doctors couldn't help me. I had some other issues going on. And again, I didn't want to go the drug or prescription route. So I started looking at food and discovered holistic nutrition. It was absolutely fascinating to me how just by changing how I ate, I could make massive improvements in my health. So I was able to rebalance my own hormones, get rid of my chronic fatigue, become energized, live life, and just do what I wanted to do again. So I just became passionate about holistic nutrition. And now I want to help other women regain their energy as well.
So you were working in IT, doing the 9 to 5. You were struggling with fatigue and didn't want to do the prescription route. So you did the research, you found what worked for you, and then decided to turn that experience into helping others who were in your same position. Yeah. I find that that's such a common story for women entrepreneurs, that we as women tend to, we love to help others, right? Like I have an experience of something, whether it's a book I read that made an impact on me or a podcast I listened to that sparked something in me. I love sharing that with others, right? Because I'm like, oh, I want you to have this experience too. Like this helped me change my mindset, or this helped me, get more energy, like whatever it is, we tend to want to pass that on. We want to say, you know what, if I could figure out how to do this for me, it means that I can help do this for you. So what was the decision like to start your own business? Like what were your hopes and your dreams and your desires when you decided to, because being a health coach is a pretty different it's a pretty big shift from being in the IT world, right?
Hmm. Yeah. So I think since I was about 16, I've always wanted to move somewhere warm, and I've
Mm.
always had my sights set on a beach. Nothing extravagant, just a nice, safe place on a beach. I'm not cut out for the Canadian winters, so I've just always wanted to move somewhere where I know I'm going to be happy with the environment. Um, so when I got into the holistic nutrition and found out that I could put this 100% online, I knew that this could help um, feed that desire, get me to the beach, as well as get me traveling around the world more. I have a dream of living in Europe for at least a year and just relocating every few weeks to see what it's like to live over there. So that was a big part of getting into the holistic nutrition and putting my business online.
Yeah. So oftentimes it's the why, or what we call the just because outcomes, right? It's like, okay, well, the real thing is that you want to be able to travel the world and live wherever you want. And in order to do so, starting your own business is a way to create income no matter where you are, right? Having an online business. And so what were you struggling with when you came into, I know we knew each other from another program. We were working
Mm-hmm.
together in there, and you were in the process of doing both. You were working the 9 to 5 IT job, which was pretty demanding and pretty intense. And at the same time, sharing this passion for helping women with their chronic fatigue and building this online business so that you can start traveling the world when it's safe to do so. What were you struggling with the most when you came into Align and Design Your Life? Like, what was it that you were saying to yourself? How are you feeling about your business and your life at that point?
I think I was struggling most with one of the main components that we were taught to do within our business coaching to grow it, which was connecting with people. So
Mm.
I had very little time to dedicate to my business. I was, like you said, full time at the IT job. It was draining. It was exhausting. So I was doing the bare minimum that I needed to do to keep the business online and still enroll a few clients. But what I was missing was connecting with people, and I was really stuck trying to find that energy. I just felt that resistance when it came to reaching out to people, messaging them, replying to emails. All of that was just this huge weight of resistance on me, and I couldn't figure out why. I just knew that it was keeping me stuck because it seemed to be the one task that I was missing that everybody else was doing so well and getting lots of success with. So I was also comparing myself to others, which wasn't
I
wasn't
was just going to
helping.
say,
It
I
made
heard
me,
that everybody else, right?
yeah,
As if no one else struggles with
yeah,
connecting and messaging. And yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I definitely was comparing myself to others, and every time that happened, I just almost not give up, but just really, I procrastinate a lot. Kind of
Mm.
go into myself and just kind of step away from the business, and that wasn't serving me. So
Yeah. So struggling to connect. And I see that happening with me sometimes too. Like there's times when I look at my messages and I'm like, "Ooh, I really got to like gear myself up to like get in there and talk to people." And if I'm not feeling the energy of that, it can feel really draining. I'm an introvert by nature.
mhm.
I think you are too. So for us to like get out there and talk to a lot of people, and like that can feel energy draining. And at the same time, if we avoid doing that, we don't get to make the impact. We don't get to help people. We don't get to build our business and live where we want to live and do the things we want to do. So sometimes there's that tension there between I've got to do this thing, but I'm feeling a lot of resistance to this thing. So, what was it for you that helped you to overcome that resistance?
Well, through working with you, it was identifying what I believe to be the main problem from back when I was younger, and is that I was bullied through junior high and high school. And I back then I got to the point where I would do anything I could to avoid initiating conversation, networking, asking questions, anything that put myself in some sort of spotlight or put myself out there. And so working with you, I discovered that my protective mechanisms were coming in and not allowing me to put myself out there, reach out to people, talk, because I was always afraid to be myself, to ask questions. So
yeah, because those patterns are strong and they're deep, right?
mhm.
If we have a thought process or a belief that arises from our experience that says, don't put yourself out there because it hurts, or don't risk it. It's better to stay safe. There's a pattern that's developed, beliefs that have developed, there's fears and emotions tied into that are happening when, you were making the best choices you could at the time, right? Your 13, 15, 17-year-old self was like, just don't talk to people. Because if I talk to them, it opens me up to the judgment and the ridicule and the bullying.
Yeah.
And it's a smart decision at the time. Like, that was the best choice at the time. The challenge that we often have as we come into adulthood is we don't go back and challenge those thoughts. We don't say, you know what, my 13-year-old self, she was making a really good choice for me at that time. But my 30-year-old self doesn't need to keep making that choice. I'm in a different environment. I'm at a different stage of my life. The people I choose to surround myself with don't treat me like that. When you're in school, you don't get to choose who's around you. But as you grow into adulthood, you get to choose, who your friends are and who's around you. But we don't always go back and say, you know what, that version of me, she was doing the best she could at the time, but her thoughts, her beliefs about not connecting or staying safe aren't serving me today. And just creating some of that awareness can be such a huge step in saying, okay, then what do I want to create from who I am today and who I want to be in the future? What choices do I want to make? How do I want to show up? And what were you able to do then? Once you had that awareness, what shifted for you? Like, how do you feel about connecting with people now?
I'm feeling a lot better about it. I'm mostly excited to do it now.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of letting go of that, how I felt about bullying, a fear of ridicule, fear of being judged. But I gave myself permission, I guess, to let go of it, and starting to feel how I would rather feel when it comes to having these conversations. So I'm showing up more confident, excited to talk to people, excited to learn their stories, which is interesting to me, obviously. So yeah, I'm putting those positive vibes ahead of the old resistance and changing how I think about it. Also, setting boundaries on conversations has been very important to me, because I found that the culture of instantly replying to messages was getting in my way as well. So I've been able to put the boundaries on when I have the conversations, and that's definitely helped.
Yeah, I think that's a great tip for all introverts, is like time block the time that you are talking to people and messaging. Like, I have a block of time each day that I do that, so that it doesn't overwhelm me or feel like my energy is being, pushed out all day long. And then it's like, here's my time to do it. And I do a little, like, I make sure I've had my tea or my coffee. Like, I get myself in a good headspace. I'm excited to serve. I'm excited to learn people's stories. And then it's like, okay, for, 30 minutes or an hour, like, I'm in this zone. I'm excited to do this, and it feels good. I think that's really important to know what works with your personality and what works for you, and doing it in a way that's, I think we think that there's a right way to do these things, but really it's your right way, what's right for you and what works for you. So as you've been creating more connections and you've been more excited about the people you're working with and serving them and seeing their amazing results, I know that your clients have such great success when they work with you. What's possible for you now?
Honestly, I feel like anything I put my mind to would be possible for me. Yeah,
That's huge, by the way.
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. I'm listening to my intuition a lot more. I've always used it in the past, but I've also ignored it a lot in the past. So now I'm listening to it way more. I know I'm growing every single day. I know that where I am in my business today isn't where I dream of it to be, but that's okay. I know that if I take the actions that I need to get there, that I will get there. That I just, you know, I feel like I love myself more, and I'm just more accepting of the situation, so that I can remove it helps to remove the resistance of past like procrastination and comparison, to just feel that I am in the right place right now. I'm on the right path, and anything is possible.
That's so awesome. And what I know you took a big leap just a few weeks ago as you started to feel more confident about connecting with people and really expanding and growing your business and seeing that anything that you decide to do is possible for you. What was the big shift that you made recently?
I decided that my IT contract was a distraction and was keeping me stuck. So it was actually 1 month ago today that I ended it. And I've been focusing on my business now for the last 4 weeks, 100%, which is awesome.
Yeah. How's that been?
It's been great. I wake up, I'm excited to work. I'm excited to, plan and reach out. Everything is so amazing. I have so many ideas now. I feel free to execute on these ideas that I've had in the past. I'm not losing them. I'm actually doing the work to create them. So it's been amazing. I'm so happy I made that decision.
Yes, I know. We were cheering you on every step of the way as you were making that decision because it's a big one. We have a lot of beliefs, a lot of ideas, a lot of structures in our society that someone else giving us the paycheck equals security. And it can bring up a lot of fear for entrepreneurs to step away from that. Because I know that most entrepreneurs, especially women, have a job, whether it's part-time or full-time, as they're creating and building their business. And the reason that they're creating and building a business is because they want more freedom in their life. Maybe they need more time with their family. They want to have a more flexible schedule. Maybe they want to travel more like you do. Like there's reasons that women start this business, but there's often a transition period where they're doing two things at once, which can be I've done it a couple of times. It's pretty demanding. And you think, well, this thing has security and this thing is the thing I love. And like being able to choose between the two and eventually saying, you know what, I'm going to trust myself. I'm going to trust my intuition. I'm going to trust that I can do this, and really putting your focus on what it is that you're creating, who it is that you want to be, who you're serving, what you want to do. And in doing that, it starts to diminish the fear of letting go of the safe job, right? The security. So I saw you do that so beautifully. I don't think any of us jump into the entrepreneurship and go, I got this. I'm 100% confident. I believe everything's going to work out. There's still some like, oh boy, this is a big leap. What was that like for you when you made that decision? How did that feel for you?
when I made it officially, it felt so good that day. Just like I'm going to give notice in 6 weeks. That's the deadline. It felt amazing. I have been thinking about doing that for over a year, but it just wasn't ready, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was time. It felt right.
Yeah. So it often takes it takes what it takes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes it's 6 months or a year or whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's just getting to the point where we're so aligned with what it is that we want to create, the outcomes that we want to experience in our life. And then really, and I find this not just with you and with me, but with a lot of people that we work with in Align and Design Your Life, that it's in connecting with your intuition and with your higher self that you really learn how to trust yourself and to know that whatever choice you make, you're going to be okay. Whatever decision it is, you're resourceful, you are capable, you will be able to make it work and figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So big. So great. So if you could go back and give yourself advice from 3 months ago, what advice would that be?
Oh boy. I think I would have told myself to quit the IT contract a little sooner. I don't know. I would have told myself that there wasn't anything wrong with me, that it wasn't me that was the problem. I didn't really have anything to really fix per se, just that I wasn't the problem, that I am capable of having conversations with other people, and I just have to do it on my terms.
Yes, absolutely. Do it in the way that's right for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that you've brought up that point. There's nothing wrong with you. Because I think a lot of us, if we're not reaching the goals we want, if we're not hitting the outcomes we want, we tend to make it personal. And we say, well, there must be something wrong with me, right? Because I see everyone else doing the thing, or I see, people creating the success, or they're further ahead of me and our minds do the best they can in making sense of that. And we go, well, it must be me. I must be the common denominator. I must be the reason why I haven't achieved the success. And then we can really get down on ourselves about that. And it can keep us stuck in trying to fix ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I need to fix what's wrong with me first, then I'll go build my business. Or I need to fix these limiting beliefs, then I'll take action. I need to fix the way I feel, then I'll be who I want to be. And what we realize is that there's nothing wrong with us.
Mm-hmm.
There's just maybe an old pattern that's running, an old belief structure. Like, you found that pattern, that old belief structure from when you were a kid it was still running in the background. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh, that's what it is. It's just an old belief. It's just an old structure, just the old ways of thinking and feeling that I got accustomed to. And now that I'm aware of that, I can change that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can start taking action towards what we want. I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited for you. It's been so fun to see you just grow and connect and be like, you're such a great part of our community. I know that everyone has loved to see your transformation and has been cheering you on as you took the leap to go full in with your business. And I'm sure when it's safe, we will be getting postcards, digital probably postcards from you, from sunny beaches and all across the world, the places you want to live, while you continue to make an impact for others. I mean, what a cool testimony to your program, that you're out there living the life you want to live, that you've overcome your chronic fatigue, and now you have the energy to travel the world and live abroad and still build your business while doing the things you love. I think that's such a great testimony for your clients. They'll be so excited to see that and to see what's possible for them. So how can people find you? If there's women out there who are wanting to connect with you, what's a great way for them to connect?
My company is called Mind Body Healthy, and my website is www.mindbodyhealthy.ca, so Canadian suffix. I'm on Instagram at mindbodyhealthyCGY, so Calgary.
Okay, cool.
Or you can search my name on Facebook or Google me, because a bunch of my links pop up when you Google my name now. So.
Oh, cool. Awesome. And we'll put, people can connect with you here inside the Alignment Tribe Facebook group. And
sure.
as we upload this to the podcast, we'll make sure there's links in the show notes so people can find you there. So Daina, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on to Mindset Monday and onto the podcast with me today. I know that you're just getting started. I mean, the best is yet to come. And I can't wait to see all that you create and all the lives that you impact and change with your amazing work.
Thank you. Thank you for all of your help and support. It's been awesome to work with you. I think everybody should work with you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, I'm always in your corner, and thank you so much.
Thank you.